Good morning, class. My name is Miss Kendra, and I will be your homeroom teacher. Before we go over the syllabus and the classroom rules, we are going to introduce ourselves, starting with the front row of desks.
My name is Joey Andrews.
I am Tom Hendricks.
And I am Brian Johnson, an incoming 7th grader.
Wait a minute, Brian, I think I've known you since 4th grade. We only had class together during the 2019-2020 school year.
Oh yeah, I now remember. It's been a long time since we've seen each other.
Now, we don't want to interrupt. We haven't finished introducing ourselves.
Wait a minute, aren't you the kid whose dad acts childish whenever things don't go his way?
Yay, we never imagined that you would have a grown toddler in your family who throws tantrums, kicks and screams, and likes things for toddlers. You must be living in some sort of daycare or something.
Ha 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 ha. That did not even occur to me that someone's parents are grown toddlers.
Joey and Tom, don't be so rude to Brian. If you two keep up this behavior, then I may have to send you both to the principal's office, even though it's the first day of school. Am I clear?
Okay, fine. We won't do it anymore, Miss Kendra. We promise.
Okay, good. Before we move on, Brian, would you like to speak to me after class?
That sounds like a good idea.
Why do I have to sit next to someone who is a big crybaby?
Tom and Joey, I don't want to hear another word about Brian, okay?
We won't do it again, we promise.
Good. Remember what I said about being sent to the principal's office. Moving on.
I still can't believe that we have someone in our class who has grown toddler parents.
And can you believe that he thinks he has the right to sit next to you in homeroom class? What makes him think he can even be in our class in the first place? What kind of 12-year-old has parents who act like toddlers, especially throwing tantrums on the floor, even in public?
Tom, as far as I am aware, only Brian's dad acts childish, but I think eventually, everyone in his family will act that way. To have parents who act like toddlers, that is not normal. And especially people in middle school shouldn't have childish parents.
I agree with you, 100%. Not too long ago, I remember seeing Brian's dad throwing a tantrum in Walmart because he wanted a toy xylophone.
That has got to be the funniest thing I have ever heard. A grown man kicking and screaming on the floor because no one would buy him a toy xylophone at Walmart.
And look, here comes Brian right now, I think on his way to the cafeteria.
You two again? What is it that you're laughing about?
It's the fact that your father acts like a toddler and he's a grown man. I mean, what kind of middle school student has those kinds of parents?
Not only he throws tantrums like a big baby. Your father also watches preschool shows, especially Barney and Friends, and he wants to play with preschool toys. Come on, why would someone have parents who behave like that?
Look, both of you have to understand something. Sometimes, my dad cannot control his behavior, and a big part of it is because he did not have a very good childhood. And that's why he behaves the way he does in certain situations.
It's not normal for someone to have parents who still act like toddlers.
Why did you even have a childish dad in the first place? And who watches preschool shows when they are grown-ups?
Well, my dad doesn't act childish all the time. It's mainly in situations where he cannot get his way, and we are trying to help him understand how the world works. I mean, yes, his behavior is why when we go places, it's embarrassing. It's just that he cannot help it sometimes. But that is no reason to make fun of me. You also need to understand that.
Brian has a childish dad. 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 Brian's dad is a grown toddler.
Look, I don't have time for this nonsense. I'm hungry and I need to eat my lunch before my next class.
Don't be surprised if your father is going to preschool.
Hey Brian, how was your first day of school?
Look, Mom, I don't really want to talk about it right now.
Wait, what? Brian, please come back here and talk to me.
The first day of school was so embarrassing for me. Why did two fellow students in my homeroom class make fun of me? I admit that Dad behaves like a big baby a lot of the time. Maybe they're right that it's not normal to have parents who act childish.
Brian, what in the world is going on? I won't get angry, you can be honest with me.
You won't believe this, but there were two students in my homeroom class, and their names are Joey and Tom.
Can you tell me their last names?
I have forgotten their last names, but what I can tell you is that our homeroom teacher is Miss Kendra, and we have homeroom before first period.
What exactly happened?
Well, both Joey and Tom have known me from elementary school. However, they changed schools, and now I have class with them. When we were introducing ourselves, both of them were making fun of me because of how Dad behaves in many situations. Miss Kendra told them to stop it, otherwise they would be sent to the principal's office. And then just a few hours later during lunch, I was on my way to the cafeteria, and both Joey and Tom were in the hallway, and they made fun of me again. Especially when they told me about the day Dad threw a tantrum in Walmart because he wanted you to buy him a toy xylophone. One of them was in Walmart at the time.
Did you tell the principal about this?
No, I didn't. I was so embarrassed by how they made fun of me.
Brian, you should have reported it to the principal, and you should not let yourself be embarrassed just because two students at school would make fun of you. I'm going to the middle school and I will report to your principal that two students in your class made fun of you. I'm also going to have a serious talk with your dad later.
I wonder where Brian is this morning.
I don't know, but I have a feeling he realized that he is too embarrassed to come to class, and he realized he is no longer welcome here because his dad is a big baby who throws tantrums in public.
Excuse me, Joey and Tom, but didn't you listen to a single word I said about not saying rude things about Brian?
Oh, come on, Miss Kendra. You have to realize it is not normal for anyone our age to have parents who behave like a 3-year-old, especially if they kick and scream on the floor.
You know what, I have heard enough from you, Joey, and the same goes to you too, Tom. There is absolutely nothing Brian can do about how his dad behaves. Sometimes his dad cannot control his own behavior.
Joey Andrews and Tom Hendricks, report to my office immediately. I repeat, Joey Andrews and Tom Hendricks, report to my office immediately.
Oh, great. What did we do this time?
I think I know what this is about, so I suggest you two get up and head over to the main office right now.
Don't worry, Catherine, I am going to take care of the situation, and I will deal with the two students who I called into the office.
Oh, so you must be the two boys who made fun of my son because his dad behaves like a big baby?
No, it is not us. He probably got us mistaken for some other student at this school.
No, I did not. You two are the ones who made fun of me yesterday.
Stop lying, both of you. Brian and his mother told me everything that happened yesterday, and I will not tolerate that kind of behavior in this school. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, because of what you did, even though this is only the first week of the school year, both of you will be serving lunch detention for the next 2 weeks, starting from today. Also, we're going to teach you how it is not nice to make fun of people who have parents who act like toddlers.
I agree with everything Mr. Phillips just said. Even though you may try to make fun of me because my dad acts childish, I do not behave the way he does because of how I am raised. Both of you are just ignorant, and I am not going to let you ruin my day anymore.
Okay, fine.
Dave, we need to have a serious talk right now.
What is it about? Did I do anything wrong today?
No, it's not that. It's about Brian. If you are not aware, two boys in one of Brian's class made fun of him at school yesterday, and it's because of how you behave, especially when we go places.
What does that have to do with anything?
It has to do with the fact that you act very childish, for example, kicking and screaming on the floor because I don't want to buy you things, especially preschool toys, and worse, you do it in public places where everyone can see us.
How dare you call me childish? I only get upset because you don't want to buy me baby toys, baby games, and you don't let me go on kids' rides when we go to an amusement park. That is just not fair.
See, that is just what I am talking about, is that behavior. Maybe if you learn to act more grown up, then Brian would not be made fun of at school.
What? I get what I want. 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 How could you do this to me, Karen?
Alright. I don't have time to deal with this behavior right now. I have to help Emma with her homework, and then get dinner ready in a few hours. Remember what I told you about Brian. You seriously need to stop that childish behavior.